Tērā te whetū, kapohia ana mai, karumaki Matarkiki. There is the star shining above, sitting with Matarkiki. Tēnā rā tātou katoa, tātou koe ka pahi mai, I raro I te kāhui o te rangi, ngā whetū o Matarkiki. Ngā mihi uruhau kia koutou, ngā taringa are mai. Tēnei te kāwai heke o te tāwera hapu o Ngāti Awa iwi, e tūwhakaiti ki te mihi kia koutou. As a 7-year-old, I wanted to be a scientist like my dad, like my papa. And so with that budding passion of mine, I like to try and look at Matarkiki through a pair of science classes. And as a young Māori, yearning to stand well rooted in my Māoritanga, I also like to look at Matarkiki with a Māori lens, through a Māori lens. And so tonight my stories are about the different eyes that I view Matarkiki with, and how that can bring some insight for myself during this time of reflection. And I also wanted to use it to share insight with you and allow you to reflect on the lens or the eyes that you view Matarkiki with. So I recalled seeing a quote, and I think Kimmy actually shared it to the page, a quote about how humans are like stardust. So I count myself as a professional Google searcher. I thought, yep, jump on Google. Keywords, stardust, are humans made of stars? What are the properties of stars? Are they the same as humans? Typed in all this bunch of stuff, all these different things. And I think it took me a couple of tries, but I found the exact quote that Cami had shared to the page. And now, this is not through my science eyes, because I wasn't like, I don't know if that's actually true, but I like it, so I'm just going to quote it tonight. So the quote goes something, we have calcium in our bones, we have iron in our veins, we have carbon in our souls, and nitrogen in our brains. 93% stardust. We are with souls made of flames. We are just people we are just stars with people names, and that's by Nikita Gill. So we're all just stars with people names. And I thought, that actually, I like that quote, and I'm going to believe that I'm 93% star. Sure, why not? So through a science lens, I was like, I'm sure someone out there would have found out and cross-examined human properties and stars and said, we must be, linked it all up. And I thought, actually, that's something really cool to be able to believe in, to actually think that te pito mata, so the potential within us traces back somewhere to the things that stars are made of. So I thought, wow, that's really awesome. And I didn't become a scientist like my dad, I'm actually a teacher. So I thought, actually, if there's something scientific about what I do, it's the natural research that I do through asking myself big questions. And so that's through the science lens. And then through the Māori lens, I'm just in awe as I've been doing lots of rangahau, lots of research around Matarkiki, I'm just in awe of my tipuna and how before space rockets and scientific equipment, my tupuna were able to stand out under a black sky and be able to tell me this and this and this and this. They could find all of that things simply by looking up to the stars. So through the Māori lens, I just, our tupuna were able to go out and read the moon and read the stars, and that helped them to calculate and find out information that informs their travel across sea. We're talking, long distance sea voyages. They were able to use that information for planting and sustenance of our culture and of our people. And the weather, lots of different things, just from simply reading the elements and the environment that they lived in. So I'm always in awe of my tipuna and how they were able to create such a connection to something that's so far away. So let's do them through the Māori lens. Each of the stars in the Matarkiki class, and this has been something that I've really enjoyed over the past couple of years, is finding more and more information about the Matarkiki constellation coming out and becoming accessible to lots of different people. And so my learnings from that has been about how each of the stars symbolize different elements and aspects of our environment and of the lifestyles that we choose to live. And so for me, finding meaning in the Matarkiki star cluster has been about connecting each of the stars to different parts of my life. So for example, I think about Matarkiki, the star Matarkiki, and there's lots of different stories, but in this Matarkiki, the star for me is about strength and persistence as we head into the colder months of the year. And then we've got Tupuanuku and Tupuarangi that talk that hold messages about the food that is harvested from the land and from the forest and from the sky, the trees. Waiti and Waita are the stars that give us, I guess, our readings around the quality of food from the rivers and from the ocean, and the waiora, the water that keeps us alive. And Waipunarangi, I love this. Where we're from at home, one of our wharekai is called Waipunarangi, and translated Waipunarangi. Wai means water, puna is a pool, and rangi is the sky. Waipunarangi, the pools of water in the sky. And that is depicted, I guess, the copious amounts of rain that we have during this time of the year. So I think there's such beauty in finding out information about each of these stars and then connecting it to how we navigate our world. But my two most intriguing stars that I've really bonded and found deep connection to, Pohutukawa and Hiwaiterangi. And Hiwaiterangi, Pohutukawa is the star that urges us to remember and pay homage to those who have passed on. And Hiwaiterangi is the star of hope. It's the star that we set our intentions and aspirations for the year coming, the year ahead. So I do want to share a bit of a taku, I guess, about Hiwaiterangi. Hiwa. Ko hiwa nui, ko hiwa roa, ko hiwa pūkenga, ko hiwa wānanga. Takataka te kāwi o te rangi. Koia a pau, tō pūtanga, ki te whai au, ki te ao marama. Hiwa, great hiwa, large hiwa, skilled hiwa, knowledgeable hiwa. Let the stars fall from the sky, and my wishes be realised in this world, the world of light. The rising of Matarkiki just happening in the last week. I think that having, words to say like that when you're looking up to the skies and sharing your wishes and your hopes for yourself and your future and our communities, it's simply beautiful. So something that I wanted to ask all of you is to reflect on what eyes you see Matarkiki with. What does it mean to you when you see Pohutukawa? Who do you think of? Who does your heart yearn for? What do you hope for, and what is your heart swelling to share with the universe when you gaze upon Hiwaiterangi? So those are some of the questions that I thought that through my story you'd be able to find an answer to, or find some insight. I attended a seminar by Professor Rangi Matama, an amazing speaker and so much knowledge around Māori astronomy. He talked about how the person looking at the stars, whatever they find out is relative to them. And so that really helped me to understand and not need to compare what I find out with what I see other people finding out from gazing upon the stars. And so I thought I'd also like to share that with you. Yeah, by exploring Matarkiki, I've come to find out a lot more about myself physically with the moon and how that has influenced. And there's been quite a resurgence in wahine Māori in particular, using the moon and tracking cycles and attuning to their physical body through their learnings from the moon, but also in terms of our thoughts and our energy and our mood. And I'm just so grateful that my tipuna, back when there was none of this fancy stuff, that they were able to do that, and it's been preserved in such an incredible way for us. And so before I start to wrap it up, I did want to share a waiata, that it's a poem, I should say, composed by Mihi Te Kapua. She's from Tūhoi. It's a lament that speaks about when the stars of Matarkiki come to rise, that it's a time where you shamelessly let your tears flow and grieve for your whānau. And I'm sure that all of us during this time, it's quite a bittersweet time where there's lots of celebrations and happy things going on, but then in the colder months when you're huddled up in front of the fire, you tend to think and you tend to reflect and miss people and yearn for things that you can no longer have. I'm quite grateful that I've been part of an era where lots of that mātauranga Māori and that knowledge has been passed down, and I'm soaking it up, and I'm doing as much as I can to make sure that I'm an example, a living example for my children as well, to follow in those footsteps. Need to warm up my vocal cords. I will sing this waiata. Tirohi atura ngā whetū, me ko Matarkiki, e arau ana he homaita i ngā mahara, e kohi nei, whakarere ake nā te roi mata, ka hua riringi, ta heke nei, kei aku ka moe. So a few wero challenges that I wanted to put out there before I finish up. Look up to the stars. And listening to Professor Rangi Matama, he said if we don't look up, we sever our connection to the cosmos. So look up. It's so easy to do, and for me, my reflection on this was, I'm not going to let the swirl of life stop me from looking up. And my husband, he spent some time in Antarctica a couple of years back, and actually carving down there, particular carving, the head of the carving is facing directly to the stars, and that's a very good place down there to view the stars. But I mean, if that's depicted in carvings that go back, hundreds and hundreds of years, Tupuna knew that there was something that we needed to also be following suit. That's why they left it in a story in the carving like that. So yeah, I love believing that there's something bigger than me to believe in. Use Matarkiki as a time to reflect and ask yourself some big questions about, your environment, the environment that we live in, the lifestyle that we live, and how the messages from each of the stars can really help us to change our ways, or in pursuit of something better, something bigger. And lastly, it's very, very cliche, but be a star. In everything that you do, be a star, because we are, of course, 93% stardust.